Hello, I am Carl from SpeakerSuits. This is my sidekick, Charlie boy, and my cameraman, woman today, is Eva. So, you want to go down? Yeah, okay. So today we're gonna talk about these two speakers and see if we can combine this. This is actually a pretty nice fit. You can combine a good design. This is a Beolab 4000 speaker, and this is launched in 1997, a while ago, but very nice looking, good build quality with the aluminium and so on. And then we have this Sonos IKEA speaker that is named Symfonisk. And we're gonna describe today how you actually move all this modern electronics from this one with the Wi-Fi support, Ethernet support, multi-room support. You can control it directly from your mobile phone. Also got a very nice feature called Trueplay, and that is essential to get this to work together. Yeah, today we're gonna go through why you should do this, how you can do this, the conditions, technology, the cost related to this, some other good information, but also the most important part is how you disassemble this one, how you disassemble this one, how you combine it together with our kit and put it back into the Beolab 4000. This is an operation everyone can do, takes about 1 hour, and you basically only need screwdriver, plier, adjustable wrench. This is about it. If you have, of course, power screwdriver, everything will go a little bit faster. So the reason that this works is actually because this speaker, the B&O speaker, is a two-way speaker. It's got a tweeter and a mid-bass element here in a sealed enclosure. That's very important actually, that it is sealed. Also after this maneuver we're going to do, it's a bass reflex solution, and it's actually the same thing here. It's a two-way system with a tweeter and a mid-bass, and the bass reflex solution here as well. And so what did we do? We designed some brackets. So in this kit comes with this holder for the main board electronics together with the Wi-Fi antennas, so you can put in there. Another bracket for the power supply. Third one, a back plate where we're actually going to move these push buttons in here together with the power inlet and the Ethernet connector as well, and replace the current backplate here with this one, so you can control pause and play and so on also in a new design, in order to transfer this Beolab 4000 into a modern Wi-Fi speaker with a multi-room and integrated completely in a Sonos system. We also have a small plastic piece that we actually use to cover or seal up this hole for the on-off switch that is down here. Otherwise you will have a hole there that leaks air. Cannot have that. And also the seals here are probably worn out, so we are providing new seals so everything will be airtight. If you are lucky, you maybe have already some of these at your home. Maybe you have some that are broken, because that is a common fault on this one. They a wonderful design and mechanics and electronics, but they have a flaw. They used a foam material that actually deteriorates over the years and falling down on electronics and is aggressive to the PCBs, so the electronics can stop working. So it's pretty common fault. So if you have a faulty one, you just need, we will anyway rip all the electronics out, so you don't need that. You only need the case and these two speaker elements. So what is the cost for this? You need to buy a Generation 2 speaker from IKEA or second hand, if you can find one. It's important that it's a Generation 2. This you can buy from IKEA for 129 euro. And this you can buy from eBay, a working pair for about 400 euros, or a broken one actually I found on eBay today for 200 euros. So that will be, yeah, say if you have a broken, if you only have one, or you already have one, you have no cost, and then you have 2 times 129. And then you need this kit where you find in our website, SpeakerSuits.com, or in a link in the description as well. Okay, let's start with some tools you may need. Set of screwdrivers, Phillips screwdrivers for the Sonos part. One little bit shorter one for particularly one screw to remove the power supply, one screw at the power supply. You can use also this one with exchangeable bits. Here is a Phillips bit, and then you have Torx number 10 and Torx number 15. Adjustable wrench, a couple of nuts, plier to remove some rubber grommets, a cutter as well. Let's start with the Beolab 4000. So just remove this fabric cover first. And then we have 3 screws here. Torx number 10. I'm gonna use a power screwdriver, so make this a little bit faster. Get a cup. Then you slide this in this direction and keep track of this brackets as well. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws here. Torx number 10. These are a little bit different size compared to the 3 here, so you can just remember that they look a little bit different. Otherwise, all these other screws should be the same length. So be careful now when you lift this up. There are some wires here, you see, at the back for the speakers, and these you remove by, you need to press a small release mechanism here. I can show you. There is a, so let's zoom in a little bit. these small release mechanism there. Otherwise they are stuck. So you press that in with your nail and pull it. So, and as you can see here, let's see if I can. This version, someone have upgraded this foam to new white foam, because originally, especially in the first years, they used a black foam, and that's the one that are really nasty and deteriorate and finally also destroy, because you see some of this foam is over this PCB, and it will actually start to destroy the PCB finally. So in this case it's easy just to remove this, but if they are the black foam, don't touch it. Just take a vacuum cleaner and remove it with a vacuum cleaner instead. Otherwise you will get it everywhere. It will be sticky and nasty. So next step is to remove these cables. Like this. There is one more screw here, same T10, and then these are in some cases they are T10, in other cases they are T15. So in this case it's T15. So you can remove these four screws like this. These you don't actually need anymore. And then you remove the transformer, pulling it out like this, and also remove this connector by just pulling it. This one you can put away. If it still works, maybe you can trade it to someone else that needs some spare parts, or save it for later if you want to restore this. So then T10, 3 bolts like that. Here is one cable more, just pull out, and then you slide this a little bit out here, and it should be loose like that. So this is the power supply, old one. That's Charlie barking, hearing something in the hallway. Yeah. So next step, remove the PCB. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bolts. They're really thorough, these Bang & Olufsen guys in Denmark. They used a lot of screws. So remove all these. And these you don't need either. There is actually one earth wire down here can remove that by pressing, and same way as a speaker cable. Otherwise it's stuck. And then you will turn it over like this, because you have the main amplifier is where the heatsink is down here. So you need to remove this bolt, but first you're gonna remove the two screws here. These actually are missing, but there are two T10 screws here. And then you have 4 down here. These are. Now you can remove the holder for the PCB. Like that. And now you need this adjustable length. I believe these could be 7 or 8 short millimeter. That. So everything removed. And if you have some remainings of the seal here on the edges, you can remove this. Make sure that you keep this seal here. It's a seal now, it was stuck here. You can keep this. If this is damaged, we will supply some extra of these you can put in here, because this need to be also sealed properly. So yeah, just clean it out a little bit, and now we are done. Okay, next step is to disassemble the IKEA Sonos speaker. As I told before, it's important that this is a generation 2. It looks like this on the back side, this on the front side. If you buy it second hand, make sure it's generation 2. Generation 1 is a little bit different, with a more oval diode here. In this case, you should have minus plus diode and play pause here. Okay, let's start. Remove this front cover. Then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rubber grommets. Easiest is to use a plier. You can use screwdriver as well. Pry it up like this. And then you change to a bit Philip bit like this, and then remove these 8 bolts. Like that. In order to get this front cover off, we need to lift this up. You can try with your finger like this, but usually it's pretty stuck. So a good way is to maybe find this kind of plier with this handle, and you put in plier like this, and then you get a better grip. But be careful there is a ribbon cable down here to these buttons. If you are not cautious enough, you may rip everything up, and that's gonna release. Hopefully it will not be destroyed, but it will probably release, but be careful. So remove this part first. See if this go well. Yeah, like that. You see, so then you try to put it like this up here, this way. So it loose, and then you see here there was some cables for the tweeter, and down here is this ribbon cable. See? There are some flex here, and in that ribbon cable there is, in order to secure it, they put a sticker on it. So you can remove that first, like that. And then there is a release here on this ribbon cable connector. Small plastic. See that? That one is released now. And then carefully pull out that flex ribbon cable. And then, same way, remove the speaker cables. Same kind of release pin on this as well. That, put that away. Now you can just try to remove these cables. Got a hole by holder further down here like this. And this holder is like the cable holder with the screws. And then try to remove the cables are held in some cases with glue, in other cases we just some like plastic tabs. So next step now is to remove this power supply here. Most of the screws here are pretty easy to remove. This top one, you can take a Phillips screwdriver and remove these screws. This. So, and this down here. What you can actually, to better get access, you can remove these power inlet with the power connector with 2 screws. See that down here? Then you get a little bit better access. Make sure you get the seal here as well, and the 2 screws, you need to reuse them. Okay, put that aside a little bit. And there are a cable here also for the Ethernet connector down here. You can just pull that. And you need to release it. Actually, a little release tab here as well. You need to push in. So you can remove that Ethernet connector as well with 2 screws. But you also need to keep. Like that. See this one? This one also got a seal, so don't lose that. Put that aside. And now I'm going to try to unscrew the bottom one here. One is pretty easy to get access. It's hard to know how much you need to, but they need to be released. But then the last one here, this one here, that's the tricky one. As you see, this one also you need to go hold of. That's actually, let me show you. That's for the power inlet. It's over here, so you need to keep track of this as well. Also got a seal. It's actually on the other side of this one. Remove that screw as well. So I found a little bit smaller, shorter screwdriver in my toolbox. What you can do, because you don't need, you're gonna throw away this anyway, what you can do is actually take a plier and remove this stud here. That will give you better access. See it work. Hopefully this come loose. And then you need to remove also the connector down here, like that. There is a little bit some release tab. These screws you also need to keep track of, a little bit thinner. So now we have the main board. Now we're going to start to carefully remove this flex cable like that, and also to make sure you can actually remove this flex cable in the same way by lifting this mechanism, like you see that plastic a little bit, and then carefully remove that from the main board. So remember this part with the foam going to the is attached to the these buttons, and the long one is connected to the main board. Now we're going to remove this Wi-Fi antennas. Flat screwdriver, and just pry it away from the cover carefully. There with double adhesive tape. The tape you can actually try to remove as well. Like that. There is one more here. Same way, pry it away from the casing, like that. And then also there is some hot glue here that you try to remove. You see there here with some hot glue with a plier. You can try to remove that. So the cable loose. Be careful not to remove this UFL connector to the main board for the antenna. You can put it back again, but it's better not to touch that. Here we have some more hot glue. Try not to destroy the cable. Good advice. So, like that. So see, everything is free, released. Now we have 4 screws, 1 in each corner to remove the main board. Keep track of these screws as well, you need to reuse them. Okay, and then just lift everything straight up. Like that. We'll have 4 of these. So, everything is removed. And now, last thing is to remove this board for the push buttons. You have 4 screws here as well. You need to keep them as well. Keep track of them. So, then you can remove this plastic cover and this PCB with the push. It's the PCB and push buttons. Like that. So, okay, now the fun part start to assemble everything together. So what do we have? We got the main board from the Sonos IKEA speaker with the 4 screws in each corner. Got the flex cable. This is a seal actually from the around the on-off button on the Beolab 4000. Can reuse to seal that hole. Then you have the Ethernet connector from the Sonos speaker with the 2 screws. We have the push buttons with the 4 small screws. We have the power supply connector with longer screws, and then you have the 4 screws for the power supply. We have the kit from SpeakerSuits, back plate, holder for main board, holder for power supply, the part to cover for to seal the hole for the on-off switch. Here is the seal we reused. We have gonna have around the back plate. There are some stainless steel screws also in the kit to attach everything, and then the sealing foam. So let's start to assemble stuff into this back plate. So we can move some parts. We can start to put in the push buttons. So you can see they will only fit in one way, like that. Like that. Then you put on the PCB board, make sure that you have the LED there matching up with the LED on that one, so that should be a snug fit. And then you put this on the holder like that, and then you put these 4 screws in. Like that. So, next step, put in the Ethernet connector. So there is a groove here for the cable and the connector. So you need to make a 360-degree turn here, and then push this in. It's also good, make sure that you have this seal also in place, and push it down. And then 2 screws, the original one. Yeah, make sure it's actually is bottoming up out, so there is no gap. Should look like this. Then we mount the power 230, 110, what do you have, in what country you live in. So you put this in first, like this, and then you put the power supply, like this. Then you have the 2 longer screws. This one was a little bit harder. And same thing here, make sure that you have the both seal on both sides in place when you mount this one. So this is finalized. Check so the push button works. Next step is to mount this PCB holder, and as you can see, this foam is already here in order to prevent it from rattling or anything when we mount it in the Beolab 4000 later. So this one you actually flip over so that these antenna connectors is towards this groove, and you put cables in like that, and you have these 4 screws. That's it, the wrong screws, should be the shorter ones. The longer one is for the power supply. So like this. Don't use too much force, you thread the plastic, but it is this one is very stiff and hard and durable, carbon reinforced nylon, so shouldn't be any major risk for that. Now should look like this. Now you put these antennas from the back, and this one you mount like this with the 2 grooves in, gonna fit here, and you basically just press that in like that. Next one, same thing from underneath, and that one only 1 groove, and that will fit here, but then you put that in like that, and then you slide it down like this, and that will be proper in place. like that. Third part is the holder for the power supply. And this need to be, in this case, this is for the version with the speaker to the left side. That's why it's a room here for the speaker. It should be positioned like this. And then it should be positioned like this. There is also a version for the other way around. In that case, it will more look like this, and you mount the power supply, but the other way around, actually. You also have some foam here to prevent any rattling. Put the power supply in like this, and then you reuse the old screws. Ready? So now we can start to assemble into the Beolab. We can start with the covering up the hole here. So then you use this one and you put this old seal in there. I actually splitted this in two to make it a little bit thinner. And you mount this from the back side here. Like this. And make sure you squeeze it in. Like this. And then secure it with a screw from the other side. Then you put in the rubber seal here, 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 and here around everything, to make sure that you have a completely sealed cabinet. So, next step, start to mount this one. If this seal is damaged, you can use this one and add around the edges, like that. Then you use this stainless steel screw that's supplied with the kit. Like this. Make sure that you have a good fit here, a good seal. Then you can put in this one. So this one actually have a plastic groove that fits in here, so you slide that in here, and then you're matching up the holes and use this small one, the short screw, without dropping them. That. Like that. If you want, you can put in also the old foam here And now you're going to put in the flex cable. Easiest is to put it first here. Make sure that you have this brass, the copper leads downwards. Like that. The tabs need to be seated properly, and then you push this back. Like that. And then you attach the connector for the Ethernet cable and the connector for a power supply, like that. Okay, then we just gonna connect this flex cable also. Make sure the copper parts, the strands are facing downwards, and then connect in the same way. Okay, and then don't forget to put back this secure tape over the connector. Okay, next step is to try to put this again. This is a little bit tight, but that. And then we need a small screw. That. These are included in the kit as well. These stainless steel screws, like that. So just to connect the speakers. So the red one, it's on the tweeter, like that. And the blue one on the mid bass, like this. And then put it all together. Should fit like this. And then you need your safe screws. So just put all these back again. This here is actually with a metal clip. I don't think you actually need it. It's a grounding pin. But you can put it back as it was for safety reason. Towards 10. And tighten them down. Like that. And then put back this aluminium plate. First you need to put the brackets, slide it in, slide it back, make sure it's flush down here. Use the smaller screws. Like that. Put back the cover. And you have a complete Sonos speaker with Wi-Fi, multi-room and so on into a Bang & Olufsen timeless piece of design, and you still have the same functionality. You have the push button here also that you need to program it and to link it up to your Sonos system. You can connect the Ethernet cable, you can connect your power cable. So everything should be sealed. So this is it.